Welcome, friends, to another edition here of Take 5. And we've been, since the beginning of the year, focusing on the weekends on some of the things that in this season of can't-dos that we can do, then it'll help us to be growing as followers of Christ. And in the very first weekend, we started off with a look at Paul's prayer in Ephesians chapter 3. And probably could have used that to talk about the practice of prayer, but instead, what I want to do with that was really zero in on what I believe is sort of the goal of any of these practices we want to encourage folks to be engaging in, and that is that we become a certain kind of person, like the kind of person that Paul is praying for in that prayer, a person who's just saturated and anchored in and permeated by the love of Jesus. Well, then in subsequent weeks, we've talked about some of these practices. We've talked about, and here's some of them, reading the Bible on our own, praying. We talked about last week or a couple weeks ago the need to be in relationship with other Christians, either in a small group preferably or in one-on-one intentional friendships. Talked last week about the times of solitude and silence. And then in one message, too, we also spoke about just the need sometimes to prune ourselves, prune other activities from our lives that would get in the way of our engaging in these. And these practices themselves are just so important, friends, because being a Christian is not just about believing certain things about God and Jesus and the Bible. It's even more fundamentally about becoming a certain kind of person, becoming more like Jesus in the ways that we think and speak and live, and just in the practices of our lives, about a way of life. And there are some keystone habits and practices that can help us to adopt and reinforce this way of life. And as you've seen some of these and reviewed them, I hope you catch that the practices themselves are really not that complicated. The real trick, I think, is finding the motivation to be taking them up. I think about it as a little bit like the way that naturally I would much prefer to eat peanut M&Ms than I would salads. Okay, but I'm very motivated to want to become a healthier person, to become a physically healthy person. And so over the years, I've kind of taken up this habit of eating salads. And the interesting thing is that the more this has become a habit for me, the more I find I actually like and enjoy eating salads. Don't get me wrong, I still really like peanut M&Ms too. But at the same time, I'm motivated more at meal times to say no to the M&Ms and yes to the salads, because not only do I enjoy the salads now, but I want to become a healthier person. Well, this weekend I want to kind of end this series sort of the way we began it, with a different picture that Paul gives in a different prayer of the kind of person that these habits that we've been talking about can help us to become. And I hope that as we really dwell on this picture, that you find it motivating, that you say, yeah, this is the kind of person I want to be like. It's a picture of a person who just abounds in love, love for God, love for all the people around us. And if you want to get a jump start on it, the passage is going to be Philippians chapter 1, verses 9 to 11. I'd encourage you, go ahead and start reading that. Or better yet, go ahead and start praying that for yourself, that God would be helping you to become more the kind of person that Paul is picturing for us there. Well, thanks much, friends, and God bless you real well this week. Bye for now.